FNaF. Ugh. Hello! FNaF video for you guys. Yeah, it's gonna be about Five Nights at Freddy's Help Wanted 2. What do you guys think of that?
Lame, you should do a FNaF 1 theory.
Your opinion doesn't matter.
I hate you, Yanky Yazbear.
But basically today, I wanted to go through some theories for Help Wanted 2 since my last video was kind of, wrong. A little bit. One thing I would like to mention though is my theory that we would be playing as Cassie's dad in Help Wanted 2. That has turned out to be pretty much factually very 100% true. I'm just throwing it out there. That I feel like it's just confirmed at this point. There are so many details that you can find in every other theory video on this. The few confirmed things is that we play as Cassie's dad, and that we play before/during Ruin. But the main thing I wanted to talk about today was basically what isn't confirmed. What do I think is right? What is more of the controversial kind of thoughts in everything here? One of the main things is, of course, the gravestones. The gravestones and the little memories. If you don't know what I'm talking about, these are what I'm talking about. I'm gonna put them on screen. They're these little dolls of some of the animatronics. And I know they've been a very controversial talking point, so that's kind of why I wanted to bring them up, is because I know they're talked about a lot. But I do think there's a lot of good theories out there. I know some people have thought the gravestones mean the order of their deaths now, but that just wouldn't make sense because the order is Chica, Foxy, Freddy, Bonnie, Golden Freddy, and then the puppet, which completely goes against everything we would know to this point. And of course, you know, the puppet dies first. The puppet is always first, no matter what. And that kind of has to happen. That crosses that out. What I saw and heard that does make sense, shout out to John from FNaF, the YouTube channel. He came up with the theory that I think is legitimately very, very, very true, which is that the graves and the order of which we activate is actually the order of their souls being freed. Now, going off the books, which I know how people are towards the books, but I am a firm believer that tales are in the canon of the games, which would mean that the Stitch line from Fazbear Frights would also be in, because those they go off of each other. And in Frights, we see the story of course, William Afton, his downfall. He dies. He's gone. He doesn't come back. Because he's just a mortal guy, he's clinging on to life, and he dies. And the soul who he dies to is the puppet. The puppet is the one to finally end him. The puppet is the one finishing him off. And after that, we set free to the MCI. The MCI is freed after that, and the puppet finally can move on. After Afton dies, the MCI gets set free. After the MCI gets set free, the puppet would have nothing else to do, and then they're freed. That's why we don't see tears on the puppet's mask in Security Breach. That's why we don't see any old reoccurring characters in Security Breach and Onward. Help Wanted and Onward. I firmly believe that the graves are the order of the souls being freed, as John from FNaF said, and I just wanted to give way and give light to his theory on that, because that is a very, very good theory that isn't just... it's the order of their deaths, I guess, because I guess Scott and his retcons, no, Scott doesn't do retcons. He just did the one that we know of. I mean, we don't know what it is for sure, but I'm pretty sure it's changing Mike to be an Afton. So... Anyway, that's one theory. Another theory has to do with those dolls, and Glitchtrap giving us those dolls, and that entire ending. So, one of the theories I and a friend cooked up, Skullsy, in the Five Nights at Freddy's Cinematic Universe Discord server, we were thinking about one of the endings. So spoiler alert if you haven't seen all of Help Wanted 2, it's been a while now, so I figured you have. One of the endings features Glitchtrap coming out of a charging pod. Now, of course, this charging pod is a direct reference to the Mimic. Glitchtrap is Mimic 1, the programming of the Mimic, the digital recreation of the Mimic program, which we've known from the books for a while. Basically, Glitchtrap is the Mimic mimicking William Afton. And what I think is happening in this game with the dolls that Glitchtrap is giving us each time we find one, what we see, I don't think, is actually destroying Glitchtrap. What I believe is Glitchtrap giving us the last pieces of him and his William Afton program. What we see up till Ruin is Glitchtrap and the Mimic mimicking William Afton. And in Ruin, we don't see that. We see the Mimic mimicking Gregory. Mimicking Gregory and Helpy. So you might ask, where did William Afton go? Is William Afton still William Aftoning? And I don't think he is. What I think these memories are symbols of the past, of William Afton's memories. And these are all ideas that would connect back to William Afton himself. These are the main original animatronics. The very first 6. The MCI and the puppet. Now you may be asking, why would Glitchtrap be giving us this? Maybe because he's done with the William Afton alias, with the name, with the idea of him. He's used that now. He's used William Afton. What we see is him doing that with Burntrap in Security Breach. That's the Mimic. And once that's done, he decides, no, I'm done with William. I'm gonna have Cassie's dad take these things and destroy that part of me. But the part that is dormant inside that mask remains. The part that the Mimic 1 resides in this entire playthrough. And that's in the charging station. That's the last part of the Mimic 1 programming. He's weakened, yes, because we destroyed one of the biggest parts of the Mimic, which is his programming to William Afton. That's been there since William Afton did his killings. He's been mimicking William Afton since, what, the 80s? The 90s? It's been years and years and years, and it's the strongest part of him, which is why we see him so weakened in Ruin. He's still there, in the form of Helpy, but Helpy can't do much. The only time we see the full-on possession of Cassie is in the Brazil ending, when we are stuck in a corner, trapped with the Mimic, with nowhere else to go. That's the only time we can be possessed, is when we're right in his lair, right in his grasp, right next to the physical Mimic. Because Helpy, the Mimic 1 programming, isn't as strong anymore. He struggles to take control of things. He struggles to take control of even the Helpy interface. We see him phasing in and out, but it's not always. And the physical Mimic, he's trapped. He can't go out anywhere, but he can communicate through the walkie-talkies like we see in the books. So what I think is happening is the Mimic is basically shedding his strongest part, his William Afton programming, and then he's becoming Gregory. He's becoming what Cassie wants to hear, to lure her down, to either make her the new Vanny, or to kill her. Like all the other people that go down there. The therapists, the workers. It's a lot of death and destruction down there. And last thing, the fire segments in the game. There's a lot of fire, and there's a lot of reference to carnivals and Fall Fest. I heard some great theories on Twitter and on YouTube about this, and I think they're very accurate. What I think and agree with is that this is a reference to Fall Fest. We know Fall Fest had been going for a long time now. It wasn't just in the 80s. We see a poster in this game that says Fall Fest started, at least, in the 70s. And what I think is that at one of these dates there was a big fire that happened. And I hope we get to learn more. But I think this because a lot of the Carnival Fall Fest themed levels have a fire that start in them. For example, the Phaser Blast with Carney, it sets on fire. Or the merry-go-round that we know seems to be in a Fall Fest type setting. it sets on fire. Even in Help Wanted, we go back and we see that there's an Easter egg of the sky turning orange, almost as if there was a fire. Now, we don't know much about this at the moment, but we know there's a lot of carnival-themed things that have been set up. Or in the ending of Ruin, there was a carnival set to be teased, but never was. Or the carnival pop figurines that keep showing up everywhere. Or the carnival we see in Fury's Rage. Or the carnival in the Tales from the Pizzaplex books before they enter the Pizzaplex. Or the mascot costumes worn by the Mimic in Ruin. And I could just keep going on and on and on and on about all the different carnival things, including the carnival nurse in the helping minigame. There's a lot. There's a lot being shown about a carnival, and we haven't really seen much, have we? Unless this was the carnival game, but I don't think it's carnival enough. And I know they have a DLC cooking up now, and I'm excited to see it, so. FNaF. That was me, Yanky Yazbear. I've never said my name this entire video, but that's me. I'm Yanky Yazbear, and I hope you had a great. I hope you enjoyed. That's FNaF.